Hey, I tell you what, the Shooters Pod is the place. If you want NBL news, great banter, health tips, behind the scenes conversations about the NBL, whether it's from the media side or the players side, this is the place to be.
Oh yes, what a week it has been. It has literally been it's been quite crazy what has happened. The game winner from Jack, obviously. The game itself, great finish to that one. I'll touch on everything. As I continue to talk about it, I was there on ground, shooting some photos and video as I normally do. But it was really exciting, and it was a really cool game to be at. Obviously, how it finished was special. Everything that we at the NBL have put out, well, not everything, majority of what we have put out has involved Jack's face on it. Jack's something to do with Jack. So I can't imagine what the last 48 hours have been like for him. All the attention, all the messages, all the DMs, everything, all the ats on all the social media accounts, even though he tries to stay off it. So it must be pretty crazy, and it's his own fault, essentially, for hitting that shot. It was pretty crazy to be there. But yes, you guessed it. It is just me at the moment doing this recording, but that's fine. I fully forgive him for focusing on Game 4 tonight, because it's obviously a huge one for him, for his franchise. Like, imagine if Tassie get up. That's the first championship in, is this their 4th year in the actual league? That's pretty crazy when you put it into everything that it is. If you put it into reality, and if someone's making a new team, any comp, like the AFL, they just obviously brought out the new Tassie Devils. Like, Tassie JackJumpers is what you want to aim for. I'm pretty sure just what they've done, everything they've done, the brand, their logo, the players, the culture, everything has been huge. So if they pull it off, amazing. But I fully expect Melbourne to come back, punch hard, do whatever they have to do, and I'll touch on that as well. But yes, Jack's not here. I know you're all looking forward to hearing from him, but bad luck. He's got bigger fish to fry, and that's fine. I can't wait to see how Game 4 goes and just to chat to him next. But for now, you're stuck with me. But the game itself, it was pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie, when Jack... So I'm just jumping straight to the winner, because that's what everyone's talking about. That's what everyone wants to hear about, I guess, even though you may have wanted it from someone else's mouth. But that's all right. I was there. Don't worry, I got a good view of it. Actually, speaking of that, when he shot it, I actually thought it was short. I thought that thing was going to airball almost. I know that's not great of me to admit, but when he shot that thing, I was like, tough shot. You move on. You move on to Game 4 with Melbourne up. But it didn't happen. That thing swished, as we all know. I don't know how about you guys, but I've watched that thing so many times because, one, people just keep posting it. It just keeps popping up on my feed, websites, whatever. It's there. And the commentary's great. Jack Hebron nailed that thing along with the other guys, but Jack Hebron was on the main calls.
Whoa, in front of the leg, problem. Doyle kept it in. Here's the JackJumpers chance. McVeigh, 2 on the clock. Oh, no! Jack McVeigh! Simply incredible! Jack McVeigh with the shot of his life! Tasmania win Game 3!
It's just one of those moments where you're just going to keep looking back and you're going to keep wanting to watch the full clip. Also, I didn't realize how deep he was. He shot that thing, you might as well call it half court. Not quite, but it was pretty crazy what he did in the context of everything that it was. It's pretty crazy. So the actual shot itself, after it went in, Jack did his classic. I don't know if he admitted to it last time, but the Conor McGregor walk back. He probably doesn't consciously do it, but it's just a thing that, it's just natural for some people. I'm sure all athletes have things they go to when they do something good on the court or when they do something bad, and that's just, he's made it his own thing. So that's pretty cool in itself. After that, the chaos, the madness on the court. It was really cool just to, well, one, the Tassie fans, I know I touched on this before, but Tassie fans travel to Melbourne extremely well. They were loud after the whole, everything happened, they just wouldn't be quiet. They were going nuts. It must have been so crazy for Jack himself, because I know myself, I needed to take a photo with him. And the Foot Locker gang, they wanted to take a photo to, spread the love to our partners of the competition. So I had to sort of help grab him after the game, after his post-game interview with broadcast, and he was just pulled every which way So I kind of felt bad for him because, you know, it would be tough. You probably just want to celebrate with your teammates. You probably half just want to get back to the back and be like, just take a few moments to breathe and enjoy it, take it all in, watch it back, just anything like that. But it's the way of the sporting world. Like, you're just going to get pulled in every direction because everyone wants to talk to you, and rightly so, because, I mean, they're already calling it one of the greatest shots in NBL history. So let's ride with that. But it was crazy. It's also the art. I'll touch on the game a bit later in general as a whole, but it's also the art of moving on from this. Because I don't know, it's really tough because you make that shot. You're like, damn, that was literally, well, the best moment of his career so far. And even Tassie as a franchise, you're like, okay, that was a hell of a shot. That was a hell of a win. Now we go up 2-1, have a chance to seal it on our home floor. But the Melbourne court announcer said this. It's not done. It's not over. And he was dead on. You got to somehow soak up in that moment, enjoy it, but then move on because the job's not done. If you don't win the championship, if you don't defend home court once again, you got a game 5. But imagine all that's for nothing. I hate to say it, but it can be a reality, and it's the cruelness of sport. Scott Roth actually touched on that as well, the whole enjoying it. He did say, I believe it was his words, he said something similar to the effect of everyone's career is short. So he's going to let the guys enjoy it, but you have to move on eventually because it's actually a funny discussion because if you came into game 4 and you were overly confident, of course it can backfire. But what happens if that's just what you need? You've got that confidence. You've got that motivation. What happens if that's exactly what you need to do it? Anyway, it's going to be a great game. So moving on from that, what was next? Hey, I wanted to talk about some other performances from game 3. Majok Deng won the game before Jack won the game. That's just how it is. He was elite. Like, he literally came in maybe third quarter, mostly. I know he was in there before that because when Tassie were struggling to score, it was Sean McDonald. It was him. It was Fab Kristovic. Fab loved the leg sleeves, by the way. Keep them. Big fan of those. But it was those three that basically kept the scoreboard ticking over for Tassie. And then Deng came in, fourth quarter, Marcus Lee injured, Will Magnay, I think he might have had foul trouble, or just Scott Roth just felt like playing Majok Deng after he was killing it in the first few minutes. But he had 15 points off the bench, I think, 15, 16, something like that. I'm sure he came off the court in the fourth quarter because that's pretty crazy. But yeah, he was such a key guy for them. They got the win. Jordan Crawford, everyone knows about his struggles, but he made some timely shots down the stretch. I think Scott Roth just said, I trusted him. Like, I had to put him out there. He had to deliver. That's exactly what he did. Milton Doyle does what he does. Now, it's not all Tassie. I, of course, want to touch on Melbourne because Daly's just a warrior. He hit those clutch shots. I think he made that 3. He made that floater. That there was a few moments where I was just like, Daly's won the game for him because it was back and forth down the stretch. There was like 3, 4, 5 times that I was like, this one's done. So credit to both those teams for just doing what they did because it was a great performance. It was great to be there and witness it live as well. And you can't not touch on Chris Golding as well because let's talk about him because there's a few shots where he was just like, they're just backbreakers. Like, you know it's going to go down with someone like him, but he still does it time and time again. But in saying that, there was a few down the stretch that if that shot did go in, and they looked very close, it basically just like rolled out. If those went in, it almost like, I got the feeling it would seal the deal for Melbourne. So, you know, it's all about how if you can make shots down the stretch, even if you're one of the world-class shooters in the league, in the world, on earth, you still have to get them when it counts the most. So, one to watch moving forward. Really enjoying Chris Golding's battle with Anthony Drumick. It's very amusing if you watch those two old veterans of the comp. I'm not going to call them old, but just veterans of the comp going at it, competing for a championship. Both Aussies. You love that. Like, you love when imports come in and be aggressive and all that, but if it's two Aussies that have been around the league for a while, they want it. They know each other. You can tell, well, on court at least, you can tell they don't like each other. So I very much enjoy that battle. And both have landed their punches almost physically. Not quite. I also love all the attention that Tassie's getting and Jack's getting because you know what? Melbourne's going to see it all. United are going to see all the stuff everyone is putting up about the incredible game winner, about the incredible game it was for Tassie, about they're the underdogs. They're the ones that might come back and win this thing when nobody expected them to. And Melbourne were on top all year. all those headlines. I know players and teams say they don't pay attention to this stuff, but I feel like they're going to have no choice but to see some of it. So they're going to come in. That's going to add more fuel to the fire. It's what is going to make Game 4 that much better as well. Whenever a team comes in angry, they might not be. I could be totally off on this, but surely there's something in it, as in like it's just one game. So it's going to be fun. I look forward to Melbourne coming back and just doing what they do, but at the same time, Tassie have momentum. Nobody can argue that. So if you can't be there, Tassie's impossible to get a ticket to, but just watch that thing because it's going to be great. I will be there. Very excited to be there. Tassie atmosphere is elite as always. Get to see some nice faces around the arena. Someone was asking if Jess can come. I don't think she can come this time around, sorry to say, but it'll be great. So I'm looking forward to that. If Tassie get it, I can't imagine what the streets of Tasmania will be like because you can tell how passionate all their fans are. So it'll be really cool to witness that. Or I go back home. I'll go back to Melbourne, Game 5, which will be just as good. So either way, I feel like it's a win-win. Game 5 is elite. Tassie winning on the home floor is also elite, but it's been a great grand final series. It's been a great finals, full stop. Everything. It just feels like it's been, and I'm not saying that just because I work for the NBL. I know it probably sounds like that, but I wouldn't be talking about it as much as I am or as excited as I am, even though I don't often sound that excited, but I'm excited. Trust me. Anyway, lastly, I'm going to round this thing up because, Jack can't be here. I like to make it short but sweet. A few listener questions. Did you guys celebrate together after the win in Melbourne? No, we did not. What do you think? What, you think the boys are just going to go out in the town and, I don't know, celebrate one win when it's not done? No, Tassie, actually no NBL team would most likely do that, let alone the Tassie JackJumpers, which a very well-oiled machine over there. So, no, we did not. How do you guys manage leg room on the planes? Well, I managed it quite easily. All 6 foot of me, I'm actually not even 6 foot. I'm probably like 5'10" or 11, but I'm saying it's 6 foot, so it's very easy. I don't know how NBL players do that because they travel a lot, but you just get used to it. I'm sure it's an absolute pain in the ass. You get extra road seas and all that stuff, but yeah, I managed just fine. Thank you. Next. I enjoy this one. Do you ever cop it from courtside fans when you're photographing? Why would I cop it? Why would they get... Actually, no. There is one thing about taking photos and video courtside. I don't ever want to be in fans' ways, and I'm always conscious of the fact that I could very easily be, especially... Tasmania is quite hard to shoot on or shoot at, I should say, because most other arenas you can walk around, and if you're standing up, you're not really like standing up behind the first row. I don't think you're really that in the way of people. Like you technically are, but Tassie's a bit lower. So I always feel a bit guilty. So if I'm in your way, just yell at me. You can make me cop it. Don't worry. I don't want to block your view. You're paying good money to be there, or you're you're a member. You deserve to be there. You want to watch it just as much as I do. So just tell me to get out of the way. But no, I don't think any fan has ever said anything to me, to be honest. A few looks. I was behind a Chinese influencer yesterday. She was going live and I realized I was right in her shot on Instagram, which was a bit funny. Didn't want to be there, but no, I have not. Good question though. Next one. Not a question, but that photo of Golding in front of the Jackies winning huddle was cold. Thank you. You know what's funny? Language. Why does cold mean good? Anyway, it's a really old comment of me, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly happy with that photo. It's just got the Jackies going crazy in the background, Chris Golding in the foreground, looking a bit defeated. So, some photos really tell the story. I think that's one that does. So I was pretty happy with that one. That's the beauty of photography, though, because you capture those moments and they kind of just tell you everything you need to know. Shout out to my brother Michael as well. I got a photo on the actual game winner. I was kind of behind Jack, so I could run up, behind him when he ran away celebrating. I could run up and get, for example, the Chris Golding shot, so the huddle in the background. But I believe Michael was the only photographer, not even Getty Sports, who they were on the other baseline as well. Michael was the only one that got Jack looking at him as a photo. Jed, our videographer, killed the video of it, but Michael got a great photo of Jack doing his celebration, the Conor McGregor stuff. So those ones were great as well. Just go to 2 Times Creative if you want to look at those ones. Lastly, now a bit of tongue in cheek here. I didn't mind it though. Darren, what was your reaction to the winning shot as a Melbourne supporter? Well, despite wearing a Melbourne t-shirt last week, I'm not a Melbourne supporter. I'm just a supporter of the NBL. It's a very media-based answer, isn't it? But that's all right. It's true. I don't have a team, and I don't think it'd be weird if I did have a team. I, of course, have a soft spot for Tassie. Like, there's no denying that. It's hard not to when you're friends with one of their players and you're doing a podcast with him. But no, I don't go for them. I don't go for any team. I go for good basketball. That's pretty good wording, wasn't it? That's it from me. Good luck to you, Jack. Good luck to Melbourne. I'm not biased, I promise.